Your smartphone isn't just a tool, it's a mirror reflecting our endless longing. What does Schopenhauer's will to live reveal about our constant search for happiness? Imagine being driven not by conscious choices alone, but by an underlying force, a relentless drive pushing us always forward. This is what Schopenhauer described as the will to live, a concept pivotal to understanding our human plight. During the early 19th century, Arthur Schopenhauer argued that human life is dominated by a perpetual striving, a relentless will to live that manifests in desires and inevitably in suffering. This philosophy, detailed in his magnus opus, The World as Will and Representation, suggests that our pursuits for happiness are never-ending quests. But here's the catch. True satisfaction, Schopenhauer warned, is always elusive, forever just beyond our grasp, because our desires are insatiable. This is not a call to hedonism, rather a cautionary tale that expecting long-term contentment from transient pleasures is a folly. Fast forward to today's world, and Schopenhauer's insights ring truer than ever, particularly when we decode our endless digital engagements. Why do we idolize those who seem to have it all, yet remain unhappy? Because in the modern context, our devices and screens have become means to fuel this will to live. They amplify a cycle of temporary desires and fleeting satisfactions. Consider the digital marketplace, a virtual frenzied bazaar of temporary fixes where satisfaction is promised with a swipe and happiness is sold in neatly packaged notifications. Yet this constant connectivity only deepens the existential void. Our entanglement with technology creates a profound paradox. The more we try to satiate our desires with digital content, the more acute our awareness of unsatisfied craving becomes. So, what lesson do we draw from Schopenhauer as we navigate today's digital and consumer-driven world? Having dissected Schopenhauer's concept, we transition to its modern expression. In light of our foundational understanding, let's examine how this manifests in today's digital economy. As you stand on the precipice of modern life, surrounded by a cacophony of notifications and advertising jingles, ask yourself, can you find tranquility amidst the digital storm? You've likely felt it. A gnawing sense of emptiness that no new gadget or streaming service can quite fill. Arthur Schopenhauer understood this plight well in his description of the will to live, a force that pushes us relentlessly towards endless desire and inevitable disappointment. But how do you overcome these pervasive digital dilemmas? How can Schopenhauer's 19th century wisdom illuminate pathways to genuine fulfillment in our hyper-connected world? At the core lies the recognition of modern traps, consumerism and the allure of shiny new technologies which ensnare us in perpetual dissatisfaction. We race on a treadmill constructed of our ambitions, always craving but never truly acquiring lasting contentment. Think of fulfillment not as a treasure hunt, but as a garden that needs constant tending. This shift in perspective from relentless pursuit to mindful cultivation aligns perfectly with Schopenhauer's insights. He posited that true fulfillment comes from transcending our ceaseless desires, embracing the serene pursuits of art, philosophy, and compassionate living. Yet let's demystify this for our modern age. Imagine this scenario. Instead of reaching for your phone as the plane lands, because surely you must be the first to check Instagram, consider reaching into your mind to reflect. Or perhaps you could explore a museum, allowing the stillness of centuries-old art to speak to that part of you untouched by Wi-Fi. This doesn't mean a total withdrawal from the world's pleasures, rather an intentional redirection. Here's a practical guide drawn from both philosophy and modern psychology. Begin with mindfulness, a practice that roots us in the present, breaking the chains of distraction caused by the digital deluge. Substitute your screen time with experiences that prioritize connection over consumption. Dine with friends, feel the pages of a book, or simply stroll in the park, soaking up impressions of nature. Each act as a step towards fulfilling the potential Schopenhauer saw in us. Your self-improvement app might be a treadmill for your ambitions, so turn off notifications, not just on your devices, but in the depth of your desires, aligning them instead with a quest for meaning and connection. With these strategies, let's conclude by synthesizing our insights into everyday practice. Overcoming the will to live isn't about rejection, but redirection of desires. Keep this balance and you may very well escape the digital cage.